Unless you choose to endow them with importance, events from the past have no reality, and neither do fears or premonitions of the future. If we can just let go of regret and fear, we can take a huge step toward physical and emotional health. There's a wonderful story first told by educator Edward Pulling about finding joy while working in the most mundane jobs. Back in the Middle Ages, a dispatcher went out to determine how laborers felt about their work. He went to a building site in France. He approached the first worker and asked, "What are you doing?" "What, are you blind?" the worker snapped back. "I'm cutting these impossible boulders with primitive tools, and I'm putting them together the way the boss tells me to. I'm sweating under the blazing sun. You know, it's back-breaking work, and it's boring me to death." The dispatcher quickly backed off and retreated to a second worker, and he asked the same question, "What are you doing?" The worker replied, "Well, I'm shaping these boulders into usable forms, which are then assembled according to the architect's plans. It's hard work, and it sometimes gets repetitive, but I earn 5 francs a week, and that supports the wife and kids. It's a job, could be worse." Somewhat encouraged, the dispatcher went on to a third worker. "And what are you doing?" he asked. "Why, can't you see?" beamed the worker as he lifted his arms to the sky. "I'm building a beautiful cathedral." You know, life is a perception through the eye of the beholder. What you visualize and internalize, you must realize can materialize. Research done by the Yale School of Public Health and the National Institute on Aging found that young people who had positive perceptions about aging were less likely to have a heart attack or stroke when they grew older. And another study confirmed that middle-aged and elderly people lived an average of 7 years longer if they had a positive perception of aging. How does your lifestyle, your expectations, and your forecasting affect your own health and well-being? You know, optimism is an incurable condition in the person with faith. Optimists believe that most disease, distress, dysfunction, and disturbance can be remedied. Optimists are also prevention and wellness oriented. Their thoughts and actions are focused on solutions, on health and success, and they concentrate on positive outcomes and rewards rather than the penalties of failure. What the mind harbors, the body manifests. This is especially important when you're raising children or leading a team. Focus on the well family and dwell on health as the usual environment around your house. We've seen more psychosomatic illnesses in homes where the parents dote on and smothered the children with undue concern for their health and safety than in any other type of household. We believe in safety precautions and sound medical practice, but we also believe that your worst or your best concerns will likely come to pass. Through many decades in dealing with Olympic athletes, professional sports franchises, and companies, the highest performers invariably have had the most optimistic daily environments. You may not get what you want in life, but generally speaking, you're much more likely to get what you expect. Positive self-expectancy brings positive benefits into being. The advice to whistle while you work, therefore, is more than just a fairy tale talk from a Disney character. It's very sound medical and psychological counsel. So here are specific principles that you should put into practice every day. And by diligently acting on these principles, you can do more for your physical well-being than any number of pills from a bottle at a much lower expense. Learn to listen to your body. Learn to distinguish between genuine requirements and mere wants or cravings. If you're out walking on a hot day and your throat is parched, you really need a drink of water, and you should have one. But if you just happen to be passing through the kitchen and your eye falls on the cookie jar, that's something else again. The desire for food, exercise, sleep, or entertainment can all arise from authentic needs or just as substitute forms of gratification. So don't fool yourself. Eat when you're hungry, drink when you're thirsty, sleep when you're tired, and make those decisions yourself. Don't let a television commercial or an advertisement in a magazine make the decision for you. Live in the present moment. Seize the day. How many times have we heard athletic coaches talk about playing one game at a time? It may be a cliche, but it's got a solid core of truth. Unless you choose to endow them with importance, events from the past have no reality, and neither do fears or premonitions of the future. Everywhere we look in nature, the trees, the flowers, and the animals are all sharply focused on being exactly what they are in the present moment. So if we can just learn that lesson, if we can just let go of regret and fear, we can take a huge step toward physical and emotional health. Resist the ever-present temptation of anger and vindictiveness. Everyone has a million good reasons to be angry, but healthy and successful people find equally compelling reasons to be calm and happy. The physiological effects of anger on the heart, for example, have been well documented. But even if anger weren't dangerous, it's still simply unpleasant for everyone. No one has our respect more than a person who can cultivate personal happiness amid all the twists and turns of life's journey. It's a far greater and far rarer attribute than the ability to make money, shoot a basketball, or win an election. Cultivate contentment and let go of anger, and you'll live long, and more importantly, you'll live well. Learn to take off your judgment robes. You know, at some level, each of us feel that we ought to rule the world. As kings and queens of creation, we would quickly straighten out everybody's mistakes and put things into good order. We all feel this way, but the wisest and healthiest of us recognize those feelings for the childish and superficial impulses that they are. We should also notice how these judgmental feelings increase in direct proportion to the dissatisfaction and frustrations that we experience in our own lives. Here are some action ideas for more positive self-expectancy. Optimism and realism go together. They're the problem-solving twins. Pessimism and cynicism are the two worst companions. Your best friends should be individuals who are no problem, it's just a little temporary inconvenience type. As you help other people in need on a daily basis, also develop an inner circle of close associations in which the mutual attraction is not sharing problems or needs. The mutual attraction should be values and goals. Resist the temptation to waste time reading or watching the sordid details of someone else's tragedies. Listen to inspirational music or instructional audios in your car, and if possible, have breakfast and lunch with an optimist. Instead of sitting in front of a TV at night, spend time listening and being involved with those you love. Engage in positive recreation and education. Select TV programs specializing in the wonders of nature, family, health, and cultural enrichment, and select the movies and television that you watch for their quality and story value rather than their commercial appeal. Get high on your expectations. Instead of relief is just to swallow away, think of belief will help you follow the way. The people you associate with, the places you go, the things you listen to and watch, all are recorded in your thoughts. Since the mind tells the body how to act, think the highest and most uplifting thoughts that you can imagine. You become what you think about most of the time. You become that to which you're most exposed. So what you watch, what you hear, what you read, and your self-explanatory style have a profound influence on your outcomes in life. You are in control of the software program that runs your body and mind. The future belongs to the optimists. So here's the question for today's lesson. Are you aware that 90% of what you're exposed to on a daily basis is bad news? Do you pass on what's wrong with the world rather than what is being done to improve it? Think about your daily dialogue and whether you're encouraging or discouraging today. And here's today's action ideas. Commit today to fly with the eagles. Your enthusiasm will be contagious.